for tonight's ECAC matchup between the Dutchmen of Union College and your homestanding Engineers of Rensselaer. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Union. Starting in the goal, number 1, Alex Sakalaropoulos. At left defense, number 2, Jeff Taylor. At right defense, number 29, Sebastian Yigra. The starting forward line for Union. At left wing, number 19, Matt Wilkins. At center is number 15, Spencer Fu. And at right wing from the Dutchman, number 17, Cole Meyer. The rest of the Union College Dutchmen and their head coach, Rick Bennett. Fans, tonight's RPI starting lineup brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts New York Roast Plan features a bold start, smooth finish, just like your Engineers. Leading the Engineers on the ice tonight, please welcome the junior engineer, Rocco Menzi. Starting in the goal, a senior from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 33, Jason Castro. At left defense, a senior from Williamsville, New York, number 24, Chris Bradley. At right defense, a sophomore from Oakville, Ontario, number 19, Mike Dragovetsik. At left wing for the Engineers, a sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, number 12, Victor Lundgren. At center for the Engineers, a senior from the district of Slovakia, number 17, Milos Kurela. And at right wing is a junior from Georgetown, Ontario, number 27, Jake Wood. The rest of the Engineers, their head coach is Seth Happer. Assistant coaches, Brian Lyons and Noel Brett. Now we direct your attention to center ice for a special ceremonial puck drop. Please welcome the President, Michael Gardner, and Vice President, Kyle Newman, of the class of 2017.
So good evening. I'm Kyle Newman, your class of 2017 president. With me tonight is Michael Gardner, the class vice president. Thank you for coming out to the class of 2017 hockey night and blackout game. Let's have a great game. Go Red.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as the RPI Captain will play the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
Here this evening as we get set to bring you RPI and Union here from the Houston Fieldhouse. Before we get started, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, we provide that broadcast on our feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. WRPI Sports, seeking current RPI students to make live calls of RPI athletic events such as this one. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's hockey. For more information or to express interest, contact us at WRPI-sports@rpi.edu.
About ready to get underway here at the Houston Fieldhouse. WRPI Troy, 91.5 FM is where your dial is located. The officials for today's game, Kevin Curtis and Robert St. Lawrence are the referees. Dan Taggart and Ryan Knapp are the linesmen. Union in their technically home whites, but since it's Black Saturday, they're not wearing colors, they're wearing whites. Dark numbers, white jerseys, nice to read. RPI are in their Black Saturday gray uniforms. Black numbers, dark red outline. Not so great to read.
No nameplate.
And no nameplate. I don't know who picked these out. RPI wins the faceoff as we are underway here in Troy. We got a big hit at center ice. Finally, the puck gets knocked back by Wilkins into the Union zone. Union trying to work it down ice. Zinra goes into the corner. He's going to get hit. Moves the puck back behind the net. Union, Jeff Taylor. There's two Taylors out there for the Dutchman. Gets it up along the boards for RPI. Liljegren tried to prevent it from going out along the half boards. Couldn't, and Union swings at it, and Gingras sends it back the other way. Kasdorf stops the puck as he's behind the net. Engineers can't get it out of the zone. Dutchman keep it in. Back behind the net. Wilkins sends it over to the far right side. Shot goes off Kasdorf's arm, loose into the slot. Back to Gingras. Gingras so over to the far ice point, taken by Union behind the net as the puck goes off the backboards. Dutchman swing around, take a shot, that goes off Kasdorf and back behind the net. Engineers finally get possession as Propavessis gets it along to the half boards. Engineers out into the middle, clear it, but it goes right to the Dutchman. They'll backhand it in as the Dutchman take a change. We're 1 minute gone by here in period number one. Engineers start to work this one out again as the Dutchman have taken a change up to the neutral zone where it was misplayed by Nanny, and it goes back to the Union zone. Dutchmen have it. DeSimone sends it up ice, gets tipped at the blue line, puck goes back behind the net. Reno is there for the Engineers, into the corner, gets it up along the boards. To the blue line, Engineers will send this one down ice. Giving chase is Bourbonnais, back behind the net. Can't get there in time, does go to the half boards though, when the Engineers have it along there. Bourbonnais gets it back from one of his teammates. Takes the puck into the far corner. Bourbonnais, somebody lost a stick out there, can't tell who right now. Nope, Union short a guy with the stick. And so they're basically, it's 4.5 against 5 right now as the Engineers can't get possession in the zone. They lost it in the corner, goes up along the half boards. Lichtenwald takes it out for Union, gets the red line and dumps it in. Dutchman changed just about everybody except the one man who went down ice going for the puck. He gets knocked off the play though. That was Emirado. Union at their own blue line. Gingras gets it up ahead. Pontarelli takes it, takes a shot. Saved easily by Kasdorf. First stoppage of play tonight.
If there's any question that Union was going to come out with a little more jump in their step as they did last night, bear in mind that Union had a power play 6 seconds into the game last night and still looked kind of down. That's pretty much been dispelled here in the first couple of minutes of this game as Union definitely digging after loose pucks, going after it, and they've had the better of the play in the first 2 minutes.
Scarfo on the face-off for Union. I really don't like these RPI uniforms. Let's call this one a Union win as they take it into the corner. Schrader was on the opposite side of that faceoff. Got a collision at the blue line. Getting knocked down was Fulton. Engineers don't get back up into the zone. And that's going to be a save by Union's goaltender. And you know what? Now that I've got a brief moment, I can get it out there. Sakelaropoulos.
You got it. You got it. Excellent. Just a little bit more description on the RPI Black Friday jerseys. They're always kind of much awaited every year. They are a little bit difficult to see, but they have kind of a nifty design on the front. The old RPI Surveyor logo, there was dating back maybe to the 40s or 50s, is on the front, and on the shoulders, on both shoulders, is the RPI Puckman.
Schrader wins the face-off. It goes back to Moore, who sent it cross ice. The dump in by the Engineers doesn't work. Now Fulton just passes it along to nobody. Wilkins takes it in the neutral zone. Puck goes into the RPI zone, cleared out by the Engineers. Wilkins at the far point had trouble handling it. Cross ice pass across the blue line, gets sent back out to the neutral zone. DeSimone dumps it in for Union. Far ice side, kept in at the blue line by the Dutchman to the near point and out of the zone. Nobody was actually there. Engineers the other way. Moore brings it around the left wing boards, and it's saved. Sakelaropoulos.
There you go. There you go. And that's just an example of what we're probably going to expect to see from Mears Moore this season. And I've related a lot to him being a lot like Nick Balin, if you can remember the RPI defenseman who graduated a couple of years ago, now playing for Dynamo Minsk in the KHL in the Russian league. Short of stature, defenseman, but very offensive-minded, willing to take the puck into the zone. We saw it right there. He took a shot that was saved by
Sakelaropoulos.
There you go.
Miller on the face-off.
Setting you up for success, Ricker.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Lichtenwald against Miller. RPI, they do have the numbers on the sleeves. They are totally useless. Can you even read any of the sleeve numbers?
No.
No. This is a night. If you're not an RPI announcer, this is a nightmare, really. Shot from the far point by the Engineers gets deflected and goes high over the net. Melanson in the near corner with the puck for RPI. Takes it back out towards the point. Bradley vacated there. Cross-ice pass at the far point. Engineers look for Melanson along the half boards. Melanson moves back. Looks almost like a power play. It's not. Engineers on the far side. Krapovesis tried to send it across ice. Gets deflected. Goes to the half boards now into the corner. Miller for RPI. A couple of players fall down on the far side. Puck still along the half boards. Engineers have it. Towards the slot. Swung at. But it gets deflected and goes into the corner. Union can't clear the zone right now. They're in a world of hurt. Lichtenwald goes into the corner. Gets the puck tied up. Engineers come in. Swing at it. Get along. Up along the boards. Now back out to the blue line. RPI in possession. No shot, deflection, hits a couple of Union players, goes to the far faceoff circle, backhander, misses the net. Puck comes over to the near side. Bourbonnais has it underneath him. However, Dufour gets there first, and Dufour gets out of the zone. Union had been back in their own zone since that stoppage of play. They need to change all five. No score here. 4 minutes gone by in the first period. RPI gets it up ice. Blue line, red line. RPI crosses the blue line into the Union zone. Waits. Along the half boards, they feed it back. Wood takes a shot, but that gets deflected. Puck goes back behind the net now for the Engineers. Lozegren to the far right side, sends it out to the point. Near side out of the zone as the pass to Wilson was, well, errant along the blue line. Dumped back in by the Engineers. They touch up. 15.5 to go here, first period, no score. Dutchman control. Jeff Taylor, there's two Taylors out there for Union. This is Jeff Taylor with the puck. Sends it over to the near ice side to Brendan Taylor, who sends the puck into the RPI zone. Engineers clear it back out. Jeff Taylor has it again. Gets a tip on the far side by Hines. Puck goes into the zone. Union's going to change up all five. Engineers with possession. Up along the boards. Fulton takes it into the zone. Fulton goes into the corner. Gets hit. Puck's underneath a couple of Dutchmen. Now to the far corner. Vidmar has some space, sends the puck to the neutral zone, dumped back in by the Engineers. They have to touch up. They do. They're also trying to switch behind this as the Engineers send the puck into the zone a second time. Dutchmen, though, find the possession and get the puck out. Stopped by RPI in the neutral zone. Moore tried to send it the other way. Fulton gets a little bit of a stick on it, but doesn't get it down ice. Dutchmen in front of their bench on the far side. RPI's bench on the near side. RPI across the blue line. Dutchman knocked the puck back out. Not real good flow here right now at the Houston Fieldhouse. Moore dumps the puck in as RPI is going to switch up personnel. Union behind the net. DeSimone sends it up ice. Scarfo sends a puck in on net, saved by Kasdorf. Union, though, was going for a change, so RPI. Kasdorf dishes it off to his D. Backhander into the neutral zone. Schrader tries to move it up ahead. Union intercepts. Dutchman loses at the blue line. RPI turns it over at the other blue line. Dutchman send it down ice. What would be an icing call that's waved off. Dutchman get to the face-off dot first. Far side shot. Nope, not really. More of a pass. They were looking for Meyer on the side of the net, but he can't handle it. Puck goes to the far corner. Union in the RPI zone. Fu has underneath him. Loses the puck to Bourbonnais, and Bourbonnais heads down the other way, but RPI doesn't have numbers going into the zone. Behind the net, Tyrannies. Puck was underneath him, kinda, didn't see it. Puck goes over to the near ice side. Along the half boards, Union gets it out. 2-on-2 the other way. Fu brings the puck into the RPI zone. Dishes it off to his left. Shot saved by Kasdorf. Goes off the blocker, into the netting, and that'll stop play.
You're just kind of seeing some of the same play as we saw last night from Union in terms of puck possession. Really, their biggest problem last night is that RPI was able to possess the puck too well. And really, the only way that Union has taken back the puck here so far early in the first period is on either just turnovers or more or less unforced errors by the Engineers. RPI doing a good job of possessing the puck, and that's what's allowing them to hold the puck down in the Union zone.
Face off to the right of Kasdorf. 13:22 to go here. First period, no score. Union leads shots on goal, 5-2 over RPI. Face off won by the Dutchman. Far side, Lichtenwald along the board, sends a puck into the corner. Two of each team there. Lichtenwald now has it underneath him, right in front of an Engineers banner along the boards there. Puck is kicked behind the net, taken by RPI. Near side, Engineers start the rush down ice. Across the blue line. Vela has trouble playing it, sent it through the top of the crease. RPI back out to the point. Shot went right through the crease. Nobody's able to touch that one. RPI switching behind this. Puck on the far side. Liljegren in the corner. Sends the puck along the half boards. Reno is there. Reno backhands it while he's at the blue line. Engineers. Now Liljegren at the blue line. Able to send it down low. Wood. Cross ice pass. Near side shot. And that's going to go high and over by Miller. And off at deflection. The face-off will stay in the zone.
It's a good shot by Miller. He got free, and really that's a shot that should have been intercepted, or I should say a pass that should have been intercepted in the slot by Union, but that's just another example of Union just being unable to dispossess the puck. RPI had the puck down in the Union zone for a good opportunity there. Cross-ice pass to Miller. He had plenty of open ice. And Kelleropoulos just putting his blocker on to get it out of play for the whistle. 12:32 left to play in the first period. No score yet in this one.
Miller versus Brendan Taylor on the face-off. So Kelleropoulos is right. Taken by, well, we're going to call this a Union win as they tried to swing it out of the zone. RPI stopped it on the far side. We've got most of the players along the boards on the far side as the puck goes back and forth, now behind the net. Engineers in the far corner, get possession, get some space. Back out to the blue line. Near side shot, and that's easily saved by Kelleropoulos. And now we've got a struggle afterwards. Did he get hit?
That was a good play by Melanson there to kind of curl around near the blue line, get himself open, take a good shot, and a good blocker save there, or not really a blocker save, I should say a glove save by Kelleropoulos. And he kind of got tapped in the back of the head by a stick, and then kind of fell over like he'd been shot. But that caused a little bit of the kerfluffle there in the crease, but nothing coming of it.
Tyrannies on the face-off for RPI. Kelleropoulos is right. Hey, I said it. I'm trying to get the name out correctly, and you spoke over me. RPI wins the face-off. Back to Bradley at the point. Cross ice to Prapavesis. In the corner, Prapavesis loses it. Goes to the face-off circle. Engineers to the slot. Kicked around. Puck comes over to the near side. Pontarelli gets it and is able to clear to the neutral zone. RPI's got it, though, back at their own blue line. No score here. First period. Well, there was no score at this point last night over in Schenectady, so you never know how these things are going to all sort out. Bradley sends it in on net from the neutral zone. So Kelleropoulos makes the save. And the Engineers can't keep it in the zone. It's gloved out of the air by Pontarelli in the RPI zone. He feeds it back. Coming down ice is Wilkins. Wilkins can't get a shot off. Goes to the side of the net, and Kasdorf covers it.
Well, as I accidentally trampled on your brilliant pronunciation skills, Kurt, I was trying to mention Evan Tierney's. One thing that he's got to learn is how to take a face-off in the NCAA, and it's not a knock on his skill in the face-off circle, because when he's in there and when he's actually taking the face-off, he's doing very well at it, but been frequently getting thrown out of the circle, and he was just thrown out again before that last one that led to a Union faceoff victory.
Union wins the faceoff in the faceoff circle, knocked into the corner by Wilkins. Behind the net, Meyer looked to feed it out front, gets intercepted, knocked out of the zone. Engineers, well, they clear it out, but Union has it back in their own zone as the Union D traded back and forth, and now accidentally sent into his bench by Wilkins, so that'll stop play.
11:05 left to go in the first period of Game 2 of this weekend series between RPI and Union. No score yet in this one. Total shots on goal, 6-5 in favor of the Dutchman.
Face off in front of the Union bench. Won by the Engineers. Quickly into the zone was Rubella. And he just had a free run into the Union zone. Took a shot, but that went over the net. Engineers dump it in again. Sakalaropoulos behind the net. Stops it. Leaves it for his D. Meyer gets it. Gets the red line. Dumps it in. And now we've got a whistle offsides against Union on that dump in, and it hit somebody.
So far in this one, Union looking better than they did last night, although, to be quite honest with you, for long stretches of last night's play, it was hard to get much worse. Union looked very, very flat last night. Overall, though, RPI still looking the more aggressive of the teams. They're holding the puck better, and they're really connecting on their passes better tonight, too.
Schrader wins the faceoff against Brendan Taylor. Engineers neutral zone. Tough slogging through the neutral zone right now for RPI as they're not able to move into the Union side of the ice. Dutchman the other way. Von Troheim takes the puck into the back behind the net, loses it there, and RPI tries a breakout. Cross ice pass, near side for Moore. Moore along left wing boards. His shot doesn't find the net. Over to the far ice side. RPI's got two retreating already. Those are the D. Forwards couldn't get the puck, and Union's into the zone. Brendan Taylor follows this up, goes behind the net. He gets taken down behind the net. That's the crowd reacting. No call. There's no penalty. A pass and then tip goes over the net by the Dutchman. That was actually a pretty good opportunity. Dufour in the corner, trying to kill some time as the Dutchman change. RPI comes out of the corner with the puck, and they'll make it into the neutral zone. Over to the far ice side. Whoops. RPI hit off the play, and the Dutchman clear. Krapovestis takes it for the Engineers. Near side. Gets it up for Bourbonnais. He misplays it in the neutral zone. Dutchman go back in the other direction. Emirado into the zone. Back low for Dufour. Oops, loses it in the corners. Dufour gets hit off the play. And the Engineers now have it. They'll sky one going down ice. Nice work there. Miller with a shot as he tries to feed it in off the side of the net. Now the wraparound attempt. Sakalaropoulos saves that, and the puck comes over to the near ice side. Round the boards to the far side. Engineers in the zone. Haven't been here for a while or for a sustained amount of time in a long time. Union player has lost his stick. Miller had trouble. He lost his stick, got it back again, kept the puck in the zone, and now it's out of the zone. And for the Union player, the stick is broken and still on the ice. Miller for RPI just lost it and had to pick it up again while he was at the point. Bourbonnais takes a shot. That's saved, put down on the ice, and Sakalaropoulos manages to cover it up with a whistle.
Sakalaropoulos left that one juicy for the Engineers to try and swarm in there, try to glove it down. When you get that on your glove, you got to scoop that up, especially in a position like that where you're going to want to get the whistle. Ended up falling directly down to the ice. That's something, if there was somebody waiting there on the doorstop, that's a goal for RPI.
Tierney's on the face-off. This is to the right of the goaltender, won by the Dutchman and sent down ice by Union. This should be icing against the Dutchman. It is.
8:44 left here in the first period. No score between RPI and Union, kind of a back and forth affair so far. And as I mentioned, Union looking a lot better than they did last night.
Nowhere to go but up, really.
It really was that bad. RPI fans can take a lot of pleasure in that victory for sure. I mean, especially against an arch rival, and RPI did play well, but it's worth mentioning that Union looked pretty bad last night.
Scarfo wins the face-off for Union against Pyrenees. Puck in the corner. Dutchman, Pontarelli, gets it up ice. Neutral zone for Vidmar, but then he loses the handle on it. Engineers the other direction. This should be icing. Yep, it's icing against RPI.
That was a missed opportunity for the Engineers. It was a bad pass by Union going forward. But then to grab that turnover and then essentially just shoot it all the way down the ice, that's letting Union off the hook there. That allows Union to gain the RPI zone on the ensuing face-off from the icing. Not a good maneuver there by RPI.
Fu will come out and take this face-off for the Dutchman against Pyrenees. It's in the circle. Let's call this a Union win. They're going to get back there and swing it behind the net. Fu couldn't get to it in time. Comes up along the half boards and steals the puck away. Knocks it towards the corner. Reno is there for RPI. To the near ice corner for Wilson. Along the boards. Engineers can't get it out. Fu along the half boards. His shot misses. Kasdorf didn't have to touch it. Far boards. Jeff Taylor pinches. Keeps the puck in the zone. Now to the center point, and that's going to get knocked out of there. Gingras couldn't keep it in. Engineers dump it the other way. Puck in the near corner. Nanny knocks it up along the boards. An Engineer goes down. Crowd wants a call on that. That was Tierney's getting knocked down. They won't get it. Bradley dumps the puck in from the neutral zone. RPI has touched up. Only person in there right now is Wood for RPI. And the puck goes in again. Wood just lets it escape by him and not take the offside. Union weaving their way through the RPI D, get the puck to the far face-off circle. Dutchman, Taylor, Brendan Taylor tried to take it down low, but loses the handle on it, and the Engineers the other way. RPI, there's players falling down in the Union zone, like last night. The ice is slippery. Puck in the near ice corner. RPI steals it away. Engineers, turn, shot, save! That was a Bubella shot. Puck's in the face-off circle. We have a penalty now. Keller-Opoulos made the save. Afterwards, the puck came out. Engineer knocked down in the circle, and there'll be a penalty against Union.
This one was a little bit lighter than the one they probably should have called, which was Cole Meyer taking an elbow to Evan Tierney. They're going to get D. Simone instead. Sophomore defenseman out of East Amherst, New York. It's going to be an interference call. It wasn't interference, but a little bit of a lighter, but maybe a makeup call for the earlier missed one. But it is an RPI power play nonetheless. So far this season, the Engineers 4 for 22 on the power play. That's 18.2%.
On the face-off, shot from the far point as Tierney's kicked it back to the near point, cross ice from the far point, misses. Engineers on the power play. No score here for the period. RPI versus Union. RPI looking to sweep these home-and-home weekend series. Power play out there for the Engineers towards the crease and covered up by Keller-Opoulos.
Good job by the Engineers to crash the net off after the initial shot. That's how you score goals. That's how they got one on the power play against Michigan, as a wind-up shot by Parker Reno was basically crashed by Travis Fulton, and who actually ended up scoring that goal. Fulton ended up getting the rebound, put that one on the goaltender, and if my memory serves me correctly, that was what?
Don't look to me.
Completely forgot. But
was that the first
point
goal?
Is that was the first goal the Engineers scored against Michigan last week. When you crash the net after shots from the point, especially on the power play, good things will happen. Didn't happen for him on that one, but it's what you want to do.
I wasn't in the building for that. Union, after the face-off, clears it down ice. Sent in from the neutral zone by Bradley. Keller-Opoulos makes the save. Puck goes to the far ice boards. RPI having trouble setting up right now as Union's getting in the way of all their passes. Back to the blue line. Engineers have it. Bradley takes a shot. It deflects a couple of times. Puck to the near side. Union gets it, and they'll clear it down ice. Well, not down ice, to the RPI blue line. Minute to go here in this power play for RPI. No score first period here in Troy. 6:05 to go in this period. Puck comes out to the blue line. Dutchman get it and swing it down ice this time. Meyer sends it down ice, and Kasdorf will stop it behind the net.
Zach Schrader, if you were wondering.
What?
The goal.
Oh, the goal. Yeah, I was in the car still coming to the building.
No one was wondering anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a goal I missed against Michigan last Saturday, coming back from the football game. RPI can't keep it in the zone as we'll get back to action here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Shots on goal, 11-6 in favor of RPI right now, but the score is 0-0, and there's still 20 seconds left on this power play for RPI. Puck's in the Union zone, back out to the far point. Engineers in the face-off circle. It was Prapavestas passing to the face-off circle. Back out to the blue line for Moore. He takes a shot, hits traffic out front. More traffic out front, and just misses the net on the third attempt by RPI. It goes flying through the air, misses the net. Keller-Opoulos I don't think he ever made a save on that. Now he'll save the Moore shot from the face-off circle. Power play is expired. Back to 5-a-side here at the Fieldhouse. 5 minutes to go here. First period, no score. RPI versus Union. Dutchman escaped danger right at the end of that power play. Good opportunities out front for RPI, but no clear shots as far as I can see in that whole sequence, except at the very end from the blue line. Neutral zone play right now. Hits the linesman's skate as the puck is in front of the Union bench and dumped into the Union zone eventually. RPI offsides. They have to touch up. Dutchman take it. Light sends it back. to Henry. RPI intercepts in the neutral zone. Can't do anything with this at first. Now it's taken by Reno. He's going to feed it back. Gets the puck back from a D-to-D pass. Reno up ahead, past Miller. Miller now gets it along the half boards, into the corner. Melanson kicks the puck, trying to get it behind the net. He's in a 1-on-3. Now it's a 2-on-3 for RPI. Dug out of there by Jeff Taylor, and Union goes the other way. Jeff Taylor weaves his way through. Union's offsides, though, as a man got knocked down. Who was that? That was Scarfo got knocked down to blue line and was offsides.
Nice effort there by Taylor. He kind of weaved well, getting to the blue line, then took a decent shot, although it wouldn't have counted. Had Jason Kasdorf needed to kind of hop up in the air to make sure that he got that one where he wanted it. 3:59 left in the first period. Still no score from the Houston Fieldhouse between RPI and Union.
Face-off just outside the blue line on the far side of the ice for the Engineers. Call this one an RPI win, as Brendan Taylor couldn't win it for Union. Puck's in the Union zone. Gingras, near side. Hines, neutral zone. Union goes the other way. Shot from the blue line by Von Troheim. Goes off the glass, back behind the net. Brendan Taylor swings at it, sends it along the half boards, and the Engineers are able to get it out of the zone. Fulton was the one who got it along the blue line, sends it out. Crowd reacts to the referee taking a tumble back behind the net. We've also got a boarding call, it looks like, coming up, as Gillespie was involved with that play as well. How is this all going to sort out? I thought it was a boarding call.
Yeah, I didn't see any boarding there, to be honest.
Or they just blow the whistle. You know what? I thought the referee signaled fist in hand, but maybe he was doing something else after the tumble. I don't know. Maybe he was just throwing himself away. No penalties. My bad. Still 5-a-side here at the Fieldhouse. No score in the first period. Hey, sometimes these things happen. Melanson overskates the puck after the face-off. Puck's in the corner. Tyrannese has underneath him. Engineers to the half boards. Now back to the corner. Bourbonnais. Half boards. Tyrannese comes in. Gets a stick on it. Cross ice pass near side. Bradley. He takes a shot. Sakelaropoulos makes the save.
Certainly a better night thus far for Alex Kelleropoulos, in that he's still in the game. By this time last night he'd already been chased. He's looking a lot stronger than he had last night as well. The second goal especially was a little suspect. It was a redirection by Lou Nanny, but he looked a little off last night. He's been in good position so far here tonight. He's just really just trying to clean up the rebounds, and he didn't leave one there for the Engineers.
Face-off win by RPI. Bubella's shot hits a skate and deflects, and now the puck got lost in the scoreboard.
Might have. I didn't see it come down.
You know, there's an old saying, what comes up must come down, but this puck's not coming down.
Shots are 15-6 in favor of the Engineers. A lot of that has to do with the power play that they were just on and the pressure that they've been putting on Union since the end of that power play. It was Union with the shots on goal lead through basically the first 7 or 8 minutes, or I should say the first 13 minutes or so of this period, but it's been all RPI of late.
Face-off to the left of Sakelaopoulos, and won by Bubella. Let's call it a Bubella win. He actually gets it back after all that struggle in the corner, and the puck comes up along the boards to the point. Bubella keeps it in just briefly. Now into the corner. Liljegren chasing after it for RPI. Gets it. Liljegren tries to take a shot and just misses off to the side of the net. Puck behind the net. Engineers get it back again. Looking for Bubella out front. Just misses him. Union, if they hurry, can get a 3-on-2 going here. Dufour looking for the puck in the corner. This really, Union's going to go back and change up some personnel, so it's not actually going to result in anything. Got a couple of players falling down along the near boards. Nothing called out of that. I think there was just some more slippery ice. And the Engineers get it and clear it down ice. This will be icing against RPI with about 2:09 to go in the first period.
It's kind of eerie. I mean, it really doesn't look like the Union that we've grown used to in the last probably 7 or 8 years. They get the puck down into the RPI end, and whether they've got trailers or not, they get kind of antsy with it. They try to move the puck too quickly, and it's leading to turnovers that RPI is really only too happy to scoop up and work with. So Union's really got to just settle themselves down if they're going to start getting themselves set up to score in the RPI end.
To the right of Kasdorf, Fu against Schrader on the face-off. Tied up in the circle, and let's call this one an RPI win as Wilson's able to get it out. Glove down in the neutral zone by the Dutchman, and they'll quickly turn the other way. Whoops, no, not really. Myers dumping, hits off an Engineer and never makes it into the zone. Now the puck's in the zone. Wilson gets it for the Engineers. Wilson feeds it back to Reno. 1:45 to go, first period, no score. Reno sends it up ice. Engineers red line, blue line. I don't know how they were onside on that play. Shot is saved, and now the puck's outside the zone because I'm real sure they were offsides. Engineers dump it in again. Along the near ice side, Jeff Taylor gets a piece of it. Stopped by Bradley at the blue line. His backhander. I'm not sure if that made it in on net or not. Sikoropoulos makes the save. I'm getting the nod from Tom. It did. So he did make the save on that one. Dutchman out of the zone. Meyer along the boards. Gets crunched. Engineers with the puck. Misplayed at the blue line. Can't bring it across. Now dumped in by Gillespie. Goes off the boards. 1:05 to go here. First period. We should be getting the announcement soon, about 1 minute to go. More neutral zone action. Not particularly exciting. Wilson at the blue line dumps it the other way. Everybody into the corner. And is anybody going to dig this one out? It'll be the Dutchman getting it out of trouble as Light gets it behind the net. Moves it to the near side for Henry. Cross ice pass for the Dutchman. Vidmar on the far side dumps the puck in. 45 seconds to go here, first period, no score. Behind the net, Engineers around to the near ice side. RPI, neutral zone, a little bit too far, close to an interference actually there, to be honest with you. We have a dump in front of the RPI bench. One of the Union players, Scarfo, also in front of the bench, was actually being touched by somebody or held by somebody on the bench. Won't be a call there. 23 seconds to go in this first period, no score, and there's an icing against Union.
It's another one of those just forward passes that Union is not connecting on. It's a thing where Union in the past has had not just the skill, but the confidence and kind of that swagger going into the attacking zone, and it's completely missing. It's not even remotely there. They look very tentative.
Scarfo on the face-off against Bubella. Won by the Dutchman. 20 seconds to go in the period. Along the boards, RPI fighting to keep this one in the zone as time's running down. 15 seconds to go in the period. Union clears it out. They'll just ease it along the boards with 10 seconds to go. They'll change up personnel, which is really what they wanted to do on the icing, just to get some fresh legs out there as the period's about to expire. 4 seconds to go. RPI is not going to do anything with it. And that does it for period number 1 here in Troy. No score between RPI and Union.
Well, RPI won 3 periods last night. I think they've got a 4th one here now. Shots on goal, 17-6, and to be very clear, that took a serious swing towards the RPI end in maybe the last 6 minutes of the period. They were not trailing by a lot, obviously. I mean, Union's only got 6 shots, but Union had the early opportunities. They didn't really have any tremendous scoring opportunities. I'd say of the 3 or 4 best scoring opportunities in the first period, all of them down on the Union end of the ice for the Engineers. And bodes well for RPI. They had 4 goals by this point last night, so obviously a little bit of a different dynamic. But if you're RPI, you still feel good the way you played. Probably want to bury one, but the way things are going, Union still doesn't seem to have fully shaken themselves out of the funk that they were in last night. And if RPI keeps pushing the way that they push, especially late in the period, they're going to find something at some point.
My one quick comment, you can call this an RPI win on the period. They dominated. Problem is the scoreboard says 0-0,
which
that's the problem.
And that's the biggest thing, because it gives Union an out. If they can turn it around next period, it's as much their game as it is RPI's. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the first intermission. Your score from Houston Fieldhouse after 1 is RPI 0 and Union 0. You're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
And
highly dedicated during the constant involvement of our collective. I welcome the opportunity to show you how we can protect and advance our football. Please call me for a free consultation. And let's go Red!
We welcome you back inside the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. As we get set to bring you the second period of action between the RPI Engineers and the Union Dutchmen. Your score after one period is RPI 0 and Union 0. My name's Tom Reel. I'm joined tonight by Kurt Stutt. Listen to all of this on your home for Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Before we get started with the second period, we want to start by thanking the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as WRPI is broadcasting. We'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. WRPI sports, for RPI students, take live calls for RPI athletic events such as this one. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's hockey. For more information, look to express interest. Contact us at WRPI-sports@RPI.edu.
Teams are taking the ice. Scoring will be underway for period number 2 here in Houston. No score of RPI versus Union. Banking heavily in favor of RPI as the first period went on. 17 shots for RPI and 6 shots for Union in that first period. But as we also mentioned, the score is 0-0. So outshoot the outcome 30-0. Not many goals. It doesn't really mean anything.
You're playing a team that's one of your rivals. You got the opportunity to keep them back on their heels. It's like Seth Afferts talked about at the start of the game. Play your next shift, and you got to keep at it. You really got to keep after it. Last night was a challenge. I mean, you come out for 40 more minutes of hockey, up 4-0. You got to resist the temptation to play back a little bit, to kind of kick it into cruise. And RPI didn't do that last night. Tonight, the challenge is keep doing what's working, even though it's not getting you ahead on the scoreboard.
Teams have switched sides. It'll be RPI going left to right, Union right to left across your radio dial on period number 2. RPI has come out with the same exact uniforms I don't like, so that really isn't a help there. Schrader on the faceoff against Fu at center ice. Won by the Engineers. Back to the blue line. Prapavesis has it. Up ice, and that's going to be icing against RPI.
And 7 seconds into the second period. So that's longer than it took for RPI in last night's game to draw a penalty, as Jake Wood was called for cross-checking. 6 seconds into the game, that was kind of a harbinger for the Engineers as they ended up giving away 9 power plays. 6 seconds into the game, that was kind of a harbinger for the Engineers as they ended up giving away 9 power plays in 6 seconds. to the Dutchmen last night. Union only able to score on their 9th and final power play of the evening.
Union hasn't had a power play yet. Shot and saved by Kasdorf. Loose in this, just outside the crease as he made the save, but he couldn't handle it as it popped up. It comes down in the face-off circle, and it's out of there. It was Wilkins with the shot for Union right after the face-off. A dangerous situation there, and that'll count as, well, does that count? Yep, that's a shot on goal for Union. Puck back to the Dutchman zone. Not for long, though, as the Dutchmen move it out, and Fu loses the puck at the blue line. Engineers, Wilson, behind the net. Took a little bit too much time thinking about that one. Lost the puck. Engineers turn it over. The face-off circle shot hits off the defenseman Wilson. It does not go in. It hit off Wilson right out front. Puck's along the far ice boards. Union with possession of it. Wilkins tries to take the shot. That hits off Kasdorf, and finally he'll cover it up for the whistle.
Well, Union with a jump here early in this one in the second period. First minute's been mostly possession for the Dutchmen. But as with the first period, they really don't seem to want to possess the puck in the RPI zone. They're taking shots. And to some extent, you want to just take shots. When you take shots, things are going to happen. But they're being a little bit more forward with the puck than they really should. Sometimes you just got to get in there, settle down first, wait for an opportunity to take a good shot. Those higher quality shots are going to result in either goals or higher quality scoring opportunities after rebounds.
Tierney's wins the faceoff back, but his D doesn't get there in time. And Union has it. Delfour, his shot from center point, hits Bradley right out front, doesn't go down ice. Or pardon me, doesn't go in towards the net. Puck stays in the zone, along the boards. Union still in control. Back to the blue line. Shot goes off the side of the net. I don't think Kasdorf saw that. Henry took the shot from the blue line, and Kasdorf didn't see it until it was whizzing past him. Goes off the side of the net, though, and no danger there of going in if it's on the wrong side of the net. Engineers finally knock the puck down ice, and there'll be no icing as RPI wins the race to the face-off circle. Puck in the near ice corner. Dutchman try to send it behind the net. Can't. Bourbonnais intercepts. Now to the far point. Shot saved by Sakelaropoulos, and puck comes over to the near ice sign and cleared out of there by Union. Sends back in. Henry has it for the Dutchman. Cross ice for Campbell. Back to Henry in front of his net. Kind of a dangerous play. Dutchman get a tip on it on the right side of the red line, so the puck goes into the RPI zone. Almost 2 minutes gone by here in period number 2. Still no score in Troy. They hit along the boards that knocked Hines down. That's what the crowd reacted to. Union, they'll come in. A shot on the far side from Taylor. Brendan Taylor goes off an Engineer and misses the net. Now RPI the other way. Gillespie brings it into the zone. His shot is saved. Tipped and not out of the zone as it stopped at the blue line by RPI. So Sakelaropoulos with a save there. Engineers along the boards on the near side. They kept it in at the blue line. Schrader gets hit off the puck. Behind the net for the Dutchman. Light swings it around. Stopped at the blue line again by RPI. Another shot, and that's held in the gut by Sakelaropoulos.
That's more of what Union needs to be doing when they have the puck. RPI was taking shots, but they were possessing the puck first. They were really holding the zone well, and then waiting for a quality opportunity to take a shot. Sakelaropoulos up to the task on the shot that they took there.
He is clearly having a better night than last night.
There's no question.
Last night was the hockey equivalent of a pitcher giving up 3 home runs in the first 6 batters.
Yes. Or at least very, very early in the game.
Yes. Face-off goes back behind the Union net, kept in by the Engineers. No score here in period number 2. RPI, can they dig this one out of the corner? Melanson sends it behind the net, taken there by Scarfo, over to the far ice side. Pontarelli into the neutral zone. Vidmar dishes it off to his left. Jeff Taylor couldn't follow up on that. Engineers sent it around the boards, but kicked up ahead by Union. They're offsides as the puck goes into the zone. Engineers clear it right to the Dutchman, who glove it down and knock it back into the RPI zone. Kasdorf slows it down. Union changing 4. Only person staying out there is Pontarelli right now. Now he'll go to the bench. RPI looks to start a rush up ice on the near side, looking for Jake Wood at the blue line, but they misconnect on that. Now Woods behind the net suddenly has the puck as the defenseman falls down. Shot!
It was a bad giveaway to start with, but Wood basically scoops it up, sends it out to the point, a one-timer by Jared Wilson. I don't know if it hit anybody on the way through, but if it is Wilson, his first of the season, 4th of his career, Henry gave it away to Wood behind the net, and Wood just scoops it right out. Didn't hit anybody. Over Sakeleropoulos' glove. And a goal by the sophomore out of Calgary, Alberta has the Engineers up 1-0 in the second period.
All the officials right now are talking about something.
There was some complaint to the referee by the Union captain. That is Matt Wilkins. I'm not sure exactly what it could be. There was no RPI player in and around the net. It was pretty much a clean giveaway behind the net by Henry. Sakeleropoulos also kind of played in giving it away since he was tapping the puck with his stick. And I think it was kind of a miscommunication between the two Dutchman players.
Now, one of the officials, this is Robert St. Lawrence, is coming over to the penalty box, and they're going to look at this one. They're going to review this one. I don't know what they're looking at.
I can't even imagine what they're looking at. I mean, I can't fathom what they could be looking at. There was no, I mean, interference is way out because there was no RPI player anywhere near the net. The net was on its moorings. The closest players, the two closest players to Sakeleropoulos were.
Hang on, did the puck cross the red line? Yeah, all right, it went in.
It was
very clearly in.
So, I mean, I can't even. I don't understand exactly what they could be looking at here.
Puck gets sent. We're watching.
This looks as clean a goal as I can come up with. I mean, it's a goal. They're calling it a goal.
I don't know what they looked at. I mean, we were watching the replay up here while they were down there looking at stuff, and I mean, it wasn't shown on the board. We're watching it, and there didn't seem to be anything possible that could be a problem.
Sakeleropoulos may have been screened by one of his own players, but it was his own player. There were no RPI, there were no black jerseys anywhere near the crease at all. So the goal stands. The Engineers lead 1-0.
16:25 to go here. Period number 2. RPI on top, 1-0 on the Wilson goal. Union from the blue line, well, just outside the blue line. The shot hits an Engineer. Puck into the corner. RPI. Bubella gets a stick on it, moves it to the far side, but not out. Kept it at the point by Emirado, pardon me. RPI now, as they've got some time. Union's going for a line change. Engineers with some time and some space. Knock it down ice. Bourbonnais races after it as it goes off the backboards. Union player falls down. Puck's in the far corner. Back out to the point. Kept in there by the Engineers. Shot hits off a Dutchman player. That was Bradley's shot. He gets it back again. Sends it off the backboards. Engineers behind the net. Lilzegren sends it out front. Taken there by Brapavesas on the wrong side of the blue line, so RPI has to touch up. Engineers dump it in. They have touched up. Melanson's in the zone. 15.5 to go here. Period number 2. 1-0 RPI on top. Blue line, red line. Puck dumped in. Goes off the boards oddly. Kasdorf has to play it as it came out towards the net. Would have hit the bottom of the net, so he played it back to, control where the puck went. Engineers avoiding the forecheck. Don't get it out, though. Light keeps it in at the blue line. Hines in the corner. Backhander towards the net. Gets knocked back by Brendan Taylor. Hines gets it again. Sends it towards the net. Loose to the side. Or pardon me, right beneath Kasdorf. And he's able to cover it with the glove.
Probably Union's best scoring opportunity of the game so far there. Kasdorf made the stop. I don't think he knew exactly where it was, but it did end up in his glove for the whistle. 15 minutes left in the second period. RPI has taken a 1-0 lead. The even strength goal by Jared Wilson, his first of the year. Lone assist going to Jake Wood, who picked up the loose puck behind the Union net and distributed it out to the point. That goal coming at 3:29 of the second period.
Scarfo can't win the faceoff for Union. Wilson, the goal scorer, passes behind the net. Engineers blue line, lose it. Dutchman backhand pass. That was not a good pass by the Dutchman, and RPI, though, can't clear it out. So Scarfo keeps it at the blue line, into the slot, knocked around. Engineers get it, and they'll knock it out of the zone. Won't be enough for icing. Has to go back and be played. Jeff Taylor has it. Taylor passes up ice. Cross ice pass. Union almost had a 2-on-1. Now they're offsides as Pontarelli was in the zone early. Play stops.
That was an ill-advised pass to start with because Union's got to focus on getting the puck through the neutral zone a little bit crisper without having to resort to headman passes. That one had icing written all over it, and when it didn't, when it was connected, it was offsides. So Union really going to want to focus on connecting 2 or 3 crisp passes in their own zone and in the neutral zone before they try doing something like that.
Call that a Mark Miller win against Fu on the face-off, but RPI can't take advantage of it. Now the Engineers out of the zone. Blue line, red line, blue line shot. And that's saved. It was almost a tripping call out front as Nanny almost got tripped up.
Sakelaropoulos, I think, got caught cheating a little bit to his right. That was a little more difficult save than it looked like. He kind of had to move back to the left with his glove in order to swipe that one out of the air. But into the glove it was. We did a stoppage with 14:10 left in the second period. RPI has taken a 1-0 lead here in the middle frame.
Miller against Fu to the right of Sakelaropoulos. Oh. Now it'll be Melanson on the face-off. Clean Union victory. Fu comes out of the face-off with the puck, and Union with another bad pass at the blue line turns it over. They are not doing that well at all. Engineers, Melanson into the zone, falls down. RPI looking for a call there. They don't get it. Well, at least the crowd's looking for a call. They don't get it.
Bench wanted it too, yeah.
Okay, so everybody in favor of RPI wanted it. Wilkins crosses the blue line, takes a shot. Kasdorf with the save. Loose to the side, and it's right out front. No shot by Union. Loose outside front of the crease. Union can't tee a shot up. Now to the near side. Fu has it on his stick, goes back behind the net. Onto the side of the net. Another shot saved by Kasdorf. Puck still loose. The referee won't blow the whistle as the puck's still loose to the left of the net. Nobody's got possession. Union can't get a shot off except the one time when Fu got it. And finally, breathing room for RPI. Wilkins in the corner, and he falls down. Light pinches, and that allows RPI to clear it out of the zone. Melanson to the blue line. Melanson waits. He's a man out front, Miller, but the pass goes into Miller's skate and stick, and he can't handle it. Engineers keeping it at the blue line on the far side. Moore around to the Proposition shot! Beats the goalie, and RPI leads 2-0.
Well, that's almost as ridiculous a sequence as you're going to see. Union probably should have scored about 4 times down the RPI end. But instead, RPI gets away with one, essentially. I don't know how RPI cuts it out. A couple of whiffs, a couple of good saves. The puck ends up down on the other side.
It went off the defender.
And Hampton ends up putting it in off the defender, and just like that, the whole thing turns around. Could have easily been 1-1. It's 2-0 RPI.
I think that may have gone off a Union player.
That's certainly what the replay makes it.
Yes,
it did.
It did.
Stick too. You'd call it an own goal if it was soccer. It wasn't a swinging motion or anything, but it was definitely put in off of a Union stick.
RPI up 2-0 here. 12:50 to go, second period. This is WRPI Troy with Engineer Hockey, Kurt Sutt and Tom Reel on the call for you. Shot from the point. There was a huge 2 bodies out front, and the puck was never going to make it through and goes back behind the net. RPI applying pressure here against the Dutchman as Liljegren in the corner falls down, getting some help from Jake Wood. Hampton near corner as the Engineers retreat. Rubella goes back to the point as Hampton went down low for that puck. Along the boards, finally cleared out by the Dutchman as they're down 2-0 here. Dufour has it at the red line. Dutchman into the Engineer zone. Can't maintain possession. RPI, a backhander, skies it. Gloved down by Henry at his blue line. Henry, pass up ice to Van Troheim. Into the near corner. Reno tries to knock it out for RPI. Can't get a stick on it. Now it goes to Fulton. Fulton can't clear it out. Stopped by Henry at the blue line. Shot from the blue line by DePauli, and it's saved by Kasdorf.
RPI is scoring. I believe they're going to add some assists to this one. Possibly Milos Bubella. Actually, Mears Moore with the lone assist on this one. But the goal scored by Phil Hampton. He was originally credited with a goal last night. That was given to Lou Nanny, who tipped in the shot by Hampton. But Phil Hampton, his first goal of the season, lone assist to Mears Moore. If you want, you can give an assist to Spencer Fu, whose stick it went off.
Shot from the face-off circle. Misses the net. Vidmar got that up after Union won the face-off. Sorry to interrupt you there, Tom.
It's okay. Time of the goal is 7:01.
Awesome. 11 and a half to go here, second period, 2-0, RPI on top. Engineers. Let's reset this. Bradley in the neutral zone. Sends the puck down ice. A couple of tips. Goes into the Union zone in the face-off circle. Who's got it? We'll call this the Dutchman. Pontarelli along the boards. Sends it near side for Campbell, who has trouble playing the puck. Engineers try to cross the blue line. Can't. Well, they do dump the puck in, but they don't follow up on that. RPI changing up personnel. Union the other way and misplayed. Vidmar had it in the zone. Kind of made an odd move and lost the puck on that one. Bourbonnais, backhander in his zone. Dumped back in by the Dutchman. Dutchmen have touched up. Meyer on the pressure. Engineers misplay the puck in the neutral zone. Dutchmen, can they settle this one? They'll get it, knock it into the zone. RPI is going to get it back out again. On the near side, RPI, Grant in the corner, backhands it around. Wilson, who's got the first goal for RPI, sends it off to the side of the net. Near ice side, turned right over to RPI by Union. Engineers, can they take advantage of this? Puck's in the face-off circle, no. Not able to get a shot off. Back to the blue line, Reno takes a shot, and that gets deflected, and now Union clears, but this should be icing against Union, and it is.
So officially, the scoring on the RPI goal is Phil Hampton from Mearsmore, 7:01 of the second period. Both RPI goals scored in the second period at even strength by defensemen. So one way of looking at it is the Engineers maybe taking a page from Union's book when they won the national championship, being deadly from the blue line. Who knows?
We'll have to see how it all sorts out. We are halfway through period number 2. RPI leading 2-0 here in the at the Houston Fieldhouse. Dutchman cleared. RPI dumps it in. Glove down. DeSimone has it. He gets taken down. This will be a penalty against RPI, and RPI is going to get the first, or pardon me, Union will get their first power play of the game.
So after many penalties and 9 power plays given up last night, RPI gets through the first 30 minutes of this one without taking a penalty. And then 14 seconds later, they are in the box for the first time. The guilty party is Milos Bubella, who had a couple of penalties last night. He is off for hooking. 9:46 left to play in the second period. RPI with a 2-0 lead. They go back. They go back to the penalty kill. They were on it enough times to be back to it, I suppose. But they're on the penalty kill for the first time this evening. Their penalty kill last night was 8 for 9, 27 for 32 on the season, 84.4, which is decent, I guess.
Face-off won by Union. Shot misses the net. Engineers clear. Union was able to get it across the blue line to Jeff Taylor. His shot missed. Nice hard shot, but it missed. Off the boards, RPI clears. 9:30 to go here, period number 2. 1:45 to go in the power play for the Dutchman. 2-0 RPI leads. Driven in by Jeff Taylor. Puck behind the net. Dutchman get it. Jeff Taylor keeps it in at the point. Along the half boards, Wilkins lost it, gets it back again. Looking for Pontarelli along the boards, but the Engineers get in front of it, get the puck and clear it down ice. Skeleropoulos leaves it for his D. Dutchman crossed the blue line. Bad play by the Dutchman. I don't know what they were doing there. Turned it over to RPI, and it's cleared down ice again.
Union is 3 for 33 on the power play this season, which means that 1 for 9 last night, actually above average.
9.1% if you can't do the math in your head. Frankly, I would not have done it in my head either. That's what they're coming in at today. Meyer crosses the blue line. Lichtenwald was behind him. Union, this is just looking awful for a power play, to be honest with you, as RPI clears it again.
Looks like a 9.1% power play.
Yeah, it looks like the numbers are right. RPI in the Union zone in a 2-on-5. Didn't really have a chance, although the crowd was enthusiastic about it. Engineers keep it out of their zone with 30 seconds left on the power play. 2-0 RPI leads here with 8:10 to go in period number 2. Dutchman, this is just, this is kind of rough to watch as the Dutchman turned the puck over again, and now the Engineers coming down ice, looking for a shorthanded opportunity here. Couldn't get it out in front of the net. As the crowd's counting down, Bourbonnais was the one who got the puck behind the net. They couldn't get it out front for a shot. Union dumps the puck in as the power play expires, and that's an 0 for 1. And it looks like that was icing against Union. Yep, icing against Union. Didn't catch that, but it was on the wrong side of the red line. So,
other than a blast after the opening face-off of the power play, Union had 0 opportunities to score. And the Engineers really had the better of play during that kill. RPI is dangerous shorthanded. They've got 3 shorties so far this season, which leads the nation. 2 of ththose scored by Milos Bubelo, which gives him a tie for the national lead with Judd Peterson of the St. Cloud State Huskies.
Timeout RPI, I believe.
Would think this would probably be a Union timeout. It looks like the face-off.
Yeah, Union
is a Union face-off, or a timeout. The face-off, I believe, is down in the Union end.
Yes, Union iced.
Considering if they just iced the puck, it's probably time for them to make sure that their players.
I made a mistake.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just clarifying. You know, usually you're not going to see a timeout in the second period unless it was an icing call. It was icing on Union. An opportunity for the Dutchman players to catch their breath after basically being stuck out there since the end of their power play, which was not really at all powerful. It was. You called it cringe-inducing. I'd say that's fair. I mean, it's
tepid.
Tepid. That's not a good word. I mean, nothing was going right for Union on that power play. They weren't gaining the zone. They weren't connecting passes. They weren't even doing an efficient job of clearing their own zone. The RPI penalty kill did a tremendous job of forechecking. They even ended up with a scoring opportunity out of it. So RPI was even plus or minus last night on the penalty kill, considering that they got a shorthanded goal from Milos Bubelo, then gave up the power play goal late. So penalty killing looking good for the Engineers, but it didn't really take that much to look good.
First pitch in the World Series, Game 4 just happened, and we are underway again here at the Houston Fieldhouse. The face-off in the Union zone, batted ahead by the Engineers, not touched by RPI, but sent out by Union. RPI to the neutral zone, they'll dump the puck in. Engineers side of the net, trying to get it off the side of the net towards the net, but can't get a shot off there. Melanson in the corner. Bradley pinches, keeps it in along the half boards, back to the corner. Melanson gets there. Gets some help now from Gillespie. Towards the net, it goes off Sakelaropoulos and comes over to the near ice side. Engineers, face-off circle, another shot saved by Sakelaropoulos and taken by the Dutchman. Neutral zone, blue line, red line, blue line, shot gloved by Kasdorf. That was going to miss from Pontarelli, but he'll just take the whistle.
Union's got to figure something out here because it's only 2-0, but they're already looking like they're
defeated,
ready to pack it in, and that's the seniors and juniors on this team should know better than anybody that these games can swing instantly. And anyone who's played hockey this long should know that a 2-goal lead, I'm not even going to finish that because it's the worst saying in sports, but it's a 2-goal lead. They're not out of this game yet, but they had a rough go of it last night.
Union wins the face-off. Taylor got it back to DePauli, and it gets deflected and goes into the netting.
They had a rough go of it last night, and now they're behind again. So it is easy to want to pack it in, but they can't do that if they're going to have a shot in this game and be able to go forward from this weekend into the rest of the season and say that they're a team that fights.
Face off to the left of Kasdorf again. 6:51 to go. Period number 2. 2-0 RPI leads. Puck's dropped. Clean Union win, and not a clean shot as Campbell wanted to take the shot, but one of the forwards moved in front of him and didn't let him. And the shot came from the other side. Another shot saved by Kasdorf from the face-off circle. Loose in the slot, bouncing around, goes to the corner. Brendan Taylor sends it. Goes in on net. Taylor got it to DePauli. He sent it in off Kasdorf. Deflection into the slot, cleared by the Engineers, and sent back the other way. RPI in the offensive zone. Liljegren couldn't keep possession of the puck back behind the net, and the Engineers now have it in the neutral zone as it goes back to Hampton. He sends it around the boards over to the far right side. Union gets control along the boards in the neutral zone. Wilkins drives the puck in. Union changing up personnel. RPI changing up people behind this as well. Engineers get to it first. Nanny sends it out. Melanson has it. Blue line. Melanson face-off circle. Melanson feeds it back. Shot! Ignore the horn. The shot never made it in on net. Net was knocked off. Play is going to stop.
That was a little bit of comical A little bit comical moment, a little bit too itchy trigger finger on the horn there. It wasn't the puck going into the net. It was definitely Matt Wilkins.
The puck wasn't anywhere near the net.
So the horn is on a hair trigger. The play was not stopped because the horn went off. The play was stopped because the net was knocked off its moorings by Matt Wilkins. But there is a penalty coming up on the play, which I did not see, admittedly. Spencer Fu going off for hooking. So the Engineers going back to the power play. They're 0 for 1 so far this evening.
0 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4 last night. 0 for 4. Engineer shot off the crossbar from the blue line from Hampton. After RPI won the faceoff, Hampton's shot goes off the crossbar, winds up, takes another shot, and that is saved by Sakeleropoulos. Engineers faceoff circle, feed it back to Hampton. He's had some luck. Now to Bradley, cross ice. Along the half boards. Tyrannese feeds it into the corner. Engineers back to Bradley at the blue line. Waits. Hampton takes another shot, and that deflects and hits somebody out front. Never made it to the goalie. Far right side. RPI on the power play here, up 2-0 with 5 minutes to go in period number 2. And Union is going to send this one down ice. Kasdorf stops it. Union changing up the whole PK unit. RPI has got most of the power play unit changed. 1:10 to go in the power play. Bradley's the last person to take the change for RPI, and he's now on the bench. RPI gets the red line, drives the puck around. Engineers, misplay. Can they get it back behind the net? Right now, no. Union ping-ponging the ball around. An Engineer falls down, and maybe Union trying to break it the other way short-handed, and Union's offsides as Lichtenwald mistimed that as it came off the boards.
Another bad pass going forward. I don't care if you're down a man or not. If you're moving the puck forward, especially with numbers as Union had there, you got to move it right. And the pass to Lichtenwald was behind him, but if that's the case, you have to go back and get it. You can't just kind of sweep your stick backwards and pull it with you, because you're going to pull yourself into the zone before the puck did. That's what happened with Lichtenwald.
Union just iced it. Oh, no, never mind. They're on the penalty kill. I forgot. They can do that. 40 seconds left on the power play for RPI. 2-0 they lead here in the second. 4:15 to go in the period. Puck driven around the boards on the near side. Light has it underneath him, goes into the corner. Now along the boards with DePauli. Engineers, though, steal it. And Liljegren took a shot that deflects, goes into the corner. RPI. Liljegren along the half boards. Waits. Wood now has it. Down low. Back to Liljegren. And he just misses the net. Got Liljegren in the slot, just missed. Union now gets the puck. They'll clear down ice with under 10 to go in the power play here in Troy. 3:45 to go here in period number 2. 2-0 RPI leads. Union is now back to 5 skaters. RPI 0 for 2 on the man advantage as the puck finds itself behind the Union net. To the half boards, far side, and Union to the neutral zone. Red line, blue line. Emirata brought it into the zone, lost it behind the net to Melanson. Puck on the far side. Robert St. Lawrence, the referee, gets away from the play. Engineers look to the right wing side to clear this one out. Can they get it across the blue line? No. Kept in by Jeff Taylor. Puck goes behind the net. Union can't keep it in, and RPI gets it out of trouble. The other way, Schrader brings it into the zone. Melanson, shot saved by Oh, you see, now I couldn't get it out right. Now I could not get it out right.
Mulligan.
Sakeleropoulos.
Might have been going over the net. Rising puck. The friend of no goaltender, so he stuck his glove up, snatched it out of the air. You get a whistle with 2:56 left in the second period. RPI up 2-0 on Union in the Route 7 rivalry.
Fu against Tyrannese on the faceoff. To the left of the goaltender. We got some pushing and shoving. Henry and Gillespie are going at it.
They're throwing both face-off men out of the face-off circle, one of which is Evan Tyrannese.
That's not really his fault that time. It was Wilkins against Gillespie on the face-off. Call this one an RPI win. As the puck bounced around, Henry gets it. Can't get it past Hampton to the blue line. Kept in briefly by RPI, but now out of the zone. Right in front of the RPI bench. Engineers drive it in. Sakeleropoulos stops it behind the net. Leaves it for his D. Another Union player falls down. Real slippery ice. Wilkins can't cross the blue line cleanly with the puck, and RPI gets it out of there. Henry, first person back to take this for Union. RPI switching up personnel. Campbell sends it down ice into the neutral zone. Henry stolen by the Engineers as it was badly passed. Campbell knocks it around in the neutral zone. Nobody really wants the puck. Kind of a hot potato in the neutral zone right now before the Engineers dump it into the Union zone. 2 minutes to go here, period number 2. 2-0, RPI leads. Puck's in the corner. Behind the net, Campbell sends it over to the far side. Over there is Bubella for the Engineers. Stopped at the blue line by RPI. Prapavesas has it. Sends the puck into the corner. Bourbonnais. Bubella. Bubella has some room in the corner. Not getting hit very hard. Looked to feed it back, and Prapavesas came in. Bubella stops it along the boards. This is not real exciting action right now as the puck does not want to leave the boards on the near side. Finally, to the far side, and Union gets it out of there a little bit too far, and that's going to be icing against Union. This game has really turned kind of boring.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm literally speechless with the way Union is playing in this game. I mean, this is a thing where, you know, if you were sparring with your rivals at this point, if you're sparring in a boxing ring or something, you kind of beckon with your gloves. It's like hit me. RPI fans got to be happy with the way this game and this weekend is going so far. But I mean, it's kind of hollow because there's not been a lot of competition.
Schrader won the face-off, and it goes through the near side for Wilson, who sends the puck behind the net. Back out towards the blue line, kept in by Schrader, who backhands the puck low. Engineers were kind of all at the blue line, and the puck stayed in the zone, so they don't have much presence down low. Union to the near ice side. We're about to get 1 minute to go in the period. The Dutchman, Scarfo, dumps the puck into the RPI zone. Union switching up their personnel. This was after the icing. Schrader across the blue line slings the puck into the far corner. Dutchman sends it off the back of one of their players out of the zone. Dutchman crossed the blue line on the near side. Shot gets deflected off the stick of DePauli and goes to the far side. Now a shot saved by Kasdorf. We've got some pushing in the crease afterwards. We'll see if anything comes out of this. Just a clarification, his name is DePauli on the back of his jersey, but Von Trauheim is the rest.
DePauli Von Trauheim.
Von Trauheim is the full name, and I like the Von Trauheim more than DePauli, so I was calling him that at the start, but we'll stick with what the nameplate says, DePauli.
I had a feeling that you would, Kurt.
Yes.
The senior native of Downers Grove, Illinois, appearing in just his 29th career game. Doesn't get an awful lot of playing time for the Dutchman, but playing here on what's listed as the top line. They weren't the starters tonight, but listed as the top line on the score sheet for the Dutchman.
41.2 seconds left here, period number 2. Face off to the left of Kasdorf. Won by the Dutchman, back out to the point. Near side for Jeff Taylor. Sends it in towards the slot. Backhander goes to the Engineers. We've got a penalty coming up against RPI.
Slashing call, and it looks like it's going to be against Miller. Mark Miller, maybe? He looks confused.
It is Miller.
But he's skating off without much of a complaint. He kind of was like, I don't know. But there he is. He's off, slashing the call. So with 33 seconds left in the second period, Union back to the power play. See if they can fare better than they did in the first one tonight, which looked absolutely ridiculous.
Abysmal.
Abysmal, yes. There's another word that would work. Ridiculous, abysmal, awful.
Fu has a center point to Campbell near side after Union won the faceoff. 2-0 RPI leads here in the second. Union on the power play. Dufour leaves it back for Fu. Fu sends it down low, right through the crease. It was crossed. The pass was by Meyer, but it was deflected and sent out, and it goes all the way down ice. 10 seconds to go in the period, so Union has very little chance to wind this one up again and do something. 3 seconds to go. Campbell from the neutral zone sends it in towards the zone, but it hits a man at the blue line, doesn't make it in, and that does it for 2 periods here. 2 RPI goals has put them in front 2-0 over Union.
Well, for about 20 seconds on that power play, it looked like a market improvement. They won the faceoff, possessed the puck, moved it a couple of times, took a decent shot, and that was it. So something to build on for Union heading into the third period. Scoring on this power play opportunity would be ideal for them. They're only down by 2. And to say only is maybe being generous, because that second period they looked a lot like they did last night. They just didn't play well. RPI capitalized. They they kept playing their game. It's what we said they needed to do at the start of the second period. They didn't get the goals that they wanted in the first period. They got them in the second. They got 2 of them from the sticks of Jared Wilson and Spencer Fu, I suppose. Phil Hampton credited with what would be called an own goal if that's what something that was tracked in hockey. And it's 2-0 Engineers. They need to finish strong in order to come away with another sweep of the Dutchmen. This would be the second year in a row if they can finish it off. 4 big points that ended up being big last year because it kept them from a much more difficult weekend in the first weekend of the playoffs as they would have if it had gone the other way. So that's what matters. All the points matters, but starting off with 4 of them apparently never hurts. RPI is 20 minutes away from being able to do that. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with the second intermission. Your score after 2 periods of play is RPI 2, Union nothing. Listen to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
let's go red. And we want to wish Joan Brennan a happy 83rd birthday. Thank you, Joan, for celebrating with us. Special thank you to the Rubber Sports Girl for their support. And thanks to you for taking your game ticket to the Recovery Sports Girl at the Hilton Garden Inn on Lucy Street in Troy, and receive a free appetizer for the purchase of $8.99 or more. Big fans, the men's hockey team will take on the Yale University in another important ECAC contest on Friday, November 13th. It's going fast, so stop by Houston Fieldhouse box office. Grab your tickets tonight or log on to tickets.athletics.rpi.edu. Purchase your tickets online. Game time 7 o'clock, Friday, November 13th against Yale.
Hi, I'm Coach Seth Adams. Stay safe on the ice this week. If you are in the car, call 300-good boys. The home company with your life.
Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. As we get started, ready to start the third period between RPI and Union. The score after 2 periods of play is RPI 2, Union 0. My name is Tom Reel, joined by Kurt Stutt. You're listening to all of this in your home Frontiers Hockey 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Before we get started, we'd like to thank the Wrestler Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Remind WRPI is on the World Wide Web, which browse at WRPI.org. And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org.
Awesome. 20 minutes on the big board. Union on the power play. Their second of the game. 2-0 RPI lead. Union left to right, RPI right to left. Across your radio dial. Dutchmen win the face-off. Send the puck into the RPI zone. Dutchmen need a goal. Right now would be a good time as they're on the power play. Fu at the point for Union. Can't keep the puck in. It's kicked out of there by RPI. Tekilaropoulos leaves it for his D. Union, neutral zone. Fu crosses the blue line. Poked away from him. Gets it back, the puck back again behind the net. Over to the far side. And Schrader can't get this one out along the half boards. Union, nope, goes underneath the Schrader again. Kicks it around, can't get to it. Union loses it as Bradley has it for RPI. Nope, Bradley overskates the puck. Comes over to the near ice side. Bourbonnais for RPI. Gets it and sends it down ice. 40 seconds left on the power play for the Dutchmen. 2-0 RPI lead. Here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Union, neutral zone. Gingras dumps the puck in. Puck goes into the corner. Pontarelli back out to the point. Gingras to Wilkins, down into the slot. Backhander saved by Kasdorf as it was on the stick of Pontarelli for the backhander, and it gets sent down ice by RPI. 5 seconds left to go here in the power play, and it's now expired at the Houston Fieldhouse. Back to 5 aside. RPI versus Union. RPI leads 2-0 in the third. Into the neutral zone. Knocked back the other way by RPI. Tyranny sends it behind the net. Engineers. Tyrannies gets it along the boards, loses it. Melanson races for the puck to Tyrannies, back to Melanson. This is all behind the net. Melanson now moves to the corner. Loses possession. Dutchman. Scarfo to the neutral zone. Wilkins trying to get the red line, can't. Union's trying to take a change while the puck's right in front of their bench. 2 gone by here in the third. 2-0 RPI on top. Dutchman, well, they finished the change, and now they're going to get an interference call. As getting knocked down was DePauli. Union backhander misses the net, comes to the near side. Goaltender is off through the slot. Puck goes to the far side. 6 skaters out there for Union. Delayed penalty against RPI. Dutchman, turn, goes off a stick of RPI. Tyrannies, does he have possess? No. Union still in possession. RPI can't touch up on this. Dutchman at the blue line, move to the near side. DeSimone sends it back to the blue line. Light sends it down low, goes into the far corner. Dufour has it underneath him. Engineers finally touch up, and there'll be a power play for Union.
And this is a weak penalty for RPI to take. Well behind the play. The interference wasn't remotely important for the Engineers to impede that player. I didn't see who it was that went down, but it is going to be, I believe that is Prapavesis, yes. Taking the interference call in the neutral zone. So Union back to the power play. This is where they've got to get it done. If they want to point to a problem this weekend that has given them the most fits, they're 1 for 11 on the power play this weekend. The 9 opportunities they had last night could have been enough to really swing the game.
Face off to the right of Kasdorf. Engineers can't clear it out. Union keeps it in. Backhander towards the net, right to RPI, and then sent down ice. Wilson forces the Dutchman to go about 200 feet on this. Union, Campbell, red line, Dufour loses the puck as he crosses the blue line. RPI clears. And this one goes down ice again. Campbell goes back to take it for the Dutchman. Under 1.5 minutes to go on this power play. Campbell gets the red line, drives it in. Dufour on the near side. Can he get there in time? No, Wilson got there first. It goes to Hampton, and Hampton sends it out of the zone. Union cannot set up anything on this power play. Looks like their first power play. Almost not worth having the man advantage at this point. Dutchman, near side, bad pass in the neutral zone. Sent the other way by Nanny. Dutchmen now have trouble getting through the neutral zone with the man advantage. Gingras Near side, Pontarelli, far side, and they miss on the shot. I thought for sure Wilkins was going to nail that one at the net. Doesn't. Gingras has it. Near side, scores off the post. Got to the face-off circle, ricochets off the post and in. Union's on the board.
That's what we've been talking about. Union really finding an opportunity to set up down in the zone. Kind of waited it out. Wilkins did make a bad shot that went Wells wide net, but Union was able to maintain possession, look for their opportunity. A shot from the top of the face-off circle gets through everybody, just to the right of Kasdorf, and it's still a game. Union gets themselves on the board. It's 2-1.
You know, if you went by how that power play was going, you weren't expecting them to score at all.
No, not even a little.
Not even a little. Now it's a one-goal game. 2-1 RPI leads here with 15:55 to go in the third. And let's see if this breathes life into the Union team. Hines behind the net. Dutchman to the far side. This is back in the Union zone after the face-off at center ice. Puck in the corner. Dutchman now have it. Skate through the crease. Dangerous play to Hines on the right wing side. Hines goes in. DePauli's in the middle. Shot saved by Kasdorf. Goes off him to the far boards and taken out by RPI. Looked like a 3-on-2 briefly for the Engineers. Shot saved. Comes over to the near ice side as Schrader has underneath him. Shot is from the far side for RPI. Puck goes back into the neutral zone. Engineers now have it. They'll cross over again. Reno dumps the puck in. Taken by the Engineers. Shot by Bourbonnais. Goes off the goaltender. Sakelaropoulos makes 2 saves in this sequence. Another shot goes off him and sent into the crowd. Deflects a couple of times. It went off somebody. Hit somebody in the head, I believe, in the crowd, and it was a weird deflection. Or they're saying, give it to the kid or hit him in the head.
We're trying to make sure that it goes to a child. One ended up with it, so.
It looks like somebody did get hit in the crowd, and that's why it went into the crowd, deflected oddly, and goes out of play. Anyway, 14:57 left to go here, third period. RPI 2, Union 1 on the ice. Sakelaropoulos, to the right of him is this face-off. Brendan Taylor comes in against Tyrannies for RPI. And Tyrannies gets kicked out again.
He's not happy either.
We can go back to Tom's complaint that Tyrannies needs to learn how to stay in the face-off circle, although one time when he got kicked out, it was not his fault. After the face-off, Union clears. Engineers knock it back in. On the near side, Campbell behind the net. Union, neutral zone. Glove down by Meyer, sent into the RPI zone. On the near ice boards, Meyer has underneath him, swings at it, can't get it towards the net. Engineers have it, Moore to the half boards. Engineers, can they get it out? Kept in at the blue line by Union, big hit. Dutchman, though, have the puck. Near side shot goes over Kasdorf's glove. I don't think he saw that clearly. Emirado with the shot. Puck's loose to the right of Kasdorf. Glove down by the Engineers. Hand pass against RPI. And it'll be a face-off in the RPI zone.
Well, the crowd may not like it, but that's a definition of a hand pass. It was gloved down and basically gloved ahead. I mean, that used to be a legal move to be able to do that in your defensive zone, but no longer. And provides Union with an offensive zone face-off with 14:09 left in the third period. They trail now by 1. It's 2-1 RPI.
Face-off stays in the circle, knocked into the corner. Dutchman have it. To the face-off circle again. Somebody's got to stop throwing those T-shirts. It's blocking my view, and I think it's a puck. Engineers clear to the neutral zone. It goes in towards the net, stick to side. Jeff Taylor has it for the Dutchman. Waiting. Union. Neutral zone. Sent down low by Gingras. Dutchman changing behind this. Can't keep it in, but RPI is going to ice it, which was not really a good play. And that allows the face-off to come back to the Union zone. Now, it's a one-goal game. Union scored from the point. I mean, your theory now is they can still score off a face-off here.
Absolutely can. Absolutely. Your Union goal, recapping the tally that made it to a 2-1 score. Sebastian Gingras with his second goal of the season, assisted by Michael Pontarelli and Matt Wilkins on the power play at 4:03.
Union lines up without a forward to the left of Fu. They do win the face-off back to Wilkins, who's at the top of the circle. He was out of position, but the shot is blocked. The Engineers 2-on-2 the other way. Coming down ice, Melanson on the left wing side. Feeds it back towards the blue line. Turnaround shot taken by Miller. Deflects off the skate, goes behind the net. Into the slot. Knocked around, a couple of gloves. Engineers glove it down, take a shot, and that one gets saved. Loose towards the crease and blocked aside. Engineers don't get a shot off as it goes to the far corner. Keleropoulos couldn't get a handle on that puck, but RPI couldn't get a shot towards him, so it was kind of washed as you look at it. 12:50 to go here, third period. 2-1, RPI on top. Union sends the puck into the zone off a deflection. It goes into the netting, and there'll be a face-off in the neutral zone.
I know I've been harping on it all night, but this isn't a Union. This isn't a team that you would have expected just got themselves back into the game with a goal. Usually that kind of swings momentum a little bit. They get a little bit more to it. Charging after loose pucks a little bit better. Not seeing it.
DeSimone, after the face-off win by Union, knocks the puck off the glass. To the corner to the right of Kasdorf. Two of each team go over there. Engineer falls down. Vidmar had the puck underneath him. Prapavesis comes in, sends it along the boards. RPI clears it out. And somebody lost their stick over there. Pontarelli lost his stick, has to go back to the bench now. Union changing up some personnel. Another bad pass by the Dutchman doesn't allow them to clear. DeSimone off the boards, goes right past RPI player at the half boards. He got lucky on that one. Vidmar the other way. He backhands the puck behind the RPI net. Hines goes into the corner, falls down. Union, though, still maintains possession. Face-off circle, no shot there. It was gloved down by Vidmar, but he couldn't maintain his balance and fell down. Jeff Taylor goes back to take the puck as almost everybody on ice is changing except for Taylor. 11:45 to go here, third period, 2-1, RPI on top. Dutchman, blue line, red line, Taylor, blue line shot, misses the net, goes off the backboards. Engineers have it in the corner, off the glass, near side. Liljegren gets it across the blue line just barely. Engineers, red line, blue line. Hampton takes a shot, and that's saved and loose off to the side of the net. Net off its moorings, and that'll be a stoppage of play.
Liljegren crashing the net. He took a Union defender with him that was, I'm sorry, it was actually Brendan Taylor, the freshman forward out of Nanaimo, British Columbia. But again, crashing the net. The nets here at Houston Fieldhouse have a little bit of a reputation for breaking pretty easily, and that's basically what happened here. RPI's really got to pick up their game too. I know Union needs a little more jump too, despite the fact that they just pulled themselves back into it, but RPI did just go down to a one-goal lead. They need a little more spring in their step as well. Really, not what you would expect for a 2-1 game in the third period between RPI and Union.
Brendan Taylor against Miller on the face-off, knocked around, goes to the corner. Hey, what are we going to call this? It would be a Union win. That's what we're calling it, according to my book. Dutchman clear, linesman gets in the way of the puck. Crowd doesn't like that. It happens. Engineers, lackluster pass into the zone, taken by the Dutchman. Dutchman to the blue line. Red line. Behind the RPI net. Reno sends it along the board, stopped at the point by the Dutchman. Near side for Henry. Henry misplays it, couldn't handle the pass. Good pass, he just misplayed it. Melanson into the Union zone, goes into the corner. He's getting hit by Campbell. Campbell steals the puck away from him. Union skies one, that'll work to get it out of the zone. And it goes all the way back to Wilson for RPI. Mets have a 1-0 lead in Game 4, by the way, down in New York. Don't know how that happened, but they are leading. Dutchman looking to get this one out of their zone as RPI found their way onto the other side of the ice, and finally it's going to be gloved by the goaltender. It's Keleropoulos.
Keleropoulos, as his name would be pronounced. 10:22 left to go, and really a lifeless period. It's pretty strange to see a crowd of 3,600 on hand at the Fieldhouse for RPI Union, a one-goal game, and not really much to cheer or be upset about on the ice. It's just not a lot happening.
Not a very enthusiastic third period here. Dutchman take a shot, except of course Dutchman did score on the power play. Kasdorf deflects it into the netting. There'll be a face-off in the RPI zone. That was a home run to take the 1-0 lead.
Well, Union could use a home run here, down by a goal, and this is the point in the game now where it's more okay to just go ahead and take shots. There's about 10 minutes left. They're down by 1. There's still plenty of time left, but as opposed to earlier in the game where it was probably better for Union to focus more on possession and maintaining the zone, now, if you're the Dutchman, go ahead and rip one if you can get it in.
Fu trying to dig this puck out. Can't. I don't know how they're going to credit that one because really Fu had the best chance to do anything with it. Engineers, Lozegren in the Union zone. He gets hit from behind, loses the puck. Union sends it out to the RPI D. Bradley down ice. Engineers cross. However, Jeff Taylor gets involved in the play, and I think that's a penalty against Taylor as he knocked a stick away from one of the Engineers.
Maybe now this will be where we start seeing some motion here. This last 4 minutes seems to have been one long battle for the puck in the corner, and that's not to say that they've been battling for the puck in the corner that long. It's just that's kind of been the overall amplitude of this game. But
not great flow to this game.
Yes, a slashing call against Jeff Taylor, junior out of Clifton Park, New York. Puts RPI on a power play, which gives them the opportunity to gain that 2-goal cushion back, which this late in the game would be crucial for RPI.
2-1, RPI leads here in the third. Third power play for the Engineers. They are 0 for 2. Hampton takes a shot and hits somebody out front. Goes to the far boards. RPI in control as they're on the man advantage. Down low. Look at
Just what the doctor ordered for the Engineers. Pump some life into this building and get that 2-goal lead back. They scored pretty early on that power play. Maybe kind of a catch-22 at this point because, you know, simply having the man advantage can be a good defense when you're up late in the game. We're back to 5-side at this point, but if you're RPI, you take that trade-off. 3-1. 2-goal edge is back. Now Union's got to dig a little bit more deeply and see what they come up with 9:29 left.
Engineers return to the 2-goal lead. Both teams 1 for 3 on the power play today here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Union looks to attack in front of the RPI bench. They lose possession. Back to Henry at his blue line. Cross ice to Campbell. Union, blue line, red line. Into the zone. Prepovesis feeds it into the corner. Engineers get blocked there from getting it out of the zone. Brendan Taylor, though, falls down for Union behind the net. And that allows RPI to move the other way. Across the blue line, Engineers into the Union zone. Schrader gets knocked off the play. Everything was changing pretty much behind him at this point. And the Dutchmen have it at their blue line. Poked away by the Engineers. Penalty coming up against the Dutchmen as it was Melanson at the blue line who got knocked down as he was trying to go down ice. And is he going off as well? No. Melanson's arguing with the referee, and I'm not sure why.
He's going.
Brendan Taylor was going into the box, and Melanson's going off as well. Is he getting an embellishment on this? I don't think that's a good call.
That's the only thing it could be, and I agree. I don't think it is a good call. That was a straight-up penalty on...
Yeah, I don't agree with that call at all. If that's embellishment, I do not agree with the call.
Brendan Taylor is off for tripping. I mean, that's a pretty clear penalty, but I don't see where Melanson didn't leave his feet or anything. It looked like a pretty clear trip. They haven't announced the penalty yet for Melanson. So.
We're skating 4-a-side here at the Houston Fieldhouse. 8.5 to go. Yeah, embellishment. 8.5 to go. 3-1. RPI's on top. Skating 4-a-side as we're in the neutral zone. And I do not agree with that call at all. I don't think he embellished. He got tripped. He went to the ice. I don't think he embellished that at all. But instead of a power play for RPI, it's 4-a-side as Union's in the Engineer zone. RPI's clearing attempt was intercepted by the Dutchman. Far ice boards. Reno pushes a man. Doesn't get the puck, though. Wilkins takes it. Crosses the near side. Shot. Gindra with the shot gets blocked and comes over to the near ice side and now taken out of the air by the Engineers. In the other direction, RPI's Nanny takes a shot and misses the net. Puck goes all the way down ice. This is no icing. RPI sent the puck off the board. About a minute to go in this 4-on-4 situation. 3-1, RPI leads here in Troy. Campbell on the far side, keeps the puck away from the Engineers. It goes back to Henry. Henry for Union, avoids the referee, stays away from Lulzegren. Up ice for Union. Scarfo crosses the blue line. In the face-off circle, Scarfo has nothing. Feeds it back to Henry. Doesn't take a shot. Now takes a shot. Save. Scored by Union. Kasdorf made the initial shave. It goes to the right, and I think it was Scarfo over there. It was either Scarfo or Pontarelli who put it home.
Yep, just a rebound opportunity. And Union puts it home. 4-on-4 leaves an awful lot of open ice out there, and there's not necessarily going to be a defender to sweep those away when they bounce to your right. That's exactly what happened. Kasdorf made the initial save. The first one there was a Union player. I do believe that was Scarfo.
It was Scarfo, yes. Pontarelli was a little bit off to the right. Scarfo was able to spin around and get the puck.
But in all honesty, Bradley was right there and probably should have scooped it away and didn't, and that's what created the goal. So Union scores, and once again, it's a 3-2 game now.
It's a one-goal game.
It's a one-goal game, and you know the question is, I mean that was a terrible call against Melanson, and if it hadn't been called, it's an RPI power play. Instead of 4-on-4, creates an opportunity, and Union's right back in this game.
Yeah. I think we agree. Bad call against Melanson. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and the puck goes into the zone from D. Simone, and it gets knocked by Kasdorf into the netting, so another face-off back in the RPI zone.
Well, getting back to the RPI goal, which had made it a 3-1 game on the power play at 10:31. Mark Miller, his first of the year from Riley Bourbonnais, his first assist of the season, and Evan Tierney's his 6th assist of the season. That made it 3-1. Ryan Scarfo is the goal scorer at 12:46, an even strength goal at, I just said 12:46, so it makes it 3-2. We'll get the assists coming up.
6:45 to go here in the third. We're back underway as it's 3-2 RPI. Puck sent towards the Union net, stick to side. Jeff Taylor has it along near ice boards. Back to 5-a-side here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Taylor crosses the blue line. Meyer, though, offsides, and that'll stop play. And at this point, the team's going to reset themselves as their players are back out on the ice.
There is at least one assist on the goal by Scarfo. One of them is to Greg Campbell, which is his first collegiate point. And there is a second one. I don't know what it is. I'll continue searching for it.
Just a reminder, this is WRPI Troy with Engineer Hockey from the Houston Fieldhouse. Kurt Stutt, Tom Reel on the call for you tonight. 3-2 RPI lead, 6:33 to go in this third period. RPI versus Union. Engineers win the neutral ice draw. Miller in his own zone, knocks it up ice. RPI turns it over to the Dutchman. It gets deflected, and Gillespie can't keep it in the zone. Dutchman looked to go the other way. Emirado eases the puck into the zone behind the net. Engineers can't clear it out. Shot from the point is loose. I don't know if it got the Kasdorf or not. It hit something out front. Goes down ice. RPI ices this, and it'll be a face-off back in the RPI zone.
The primary assist on the Scarfo goal is to Noah Henry, the junior out of Seattle, Washington. So the full scoring for Union on their second goal tonight. Scarfo from Henry and Campbell at 12:46, a 4-on-4 goal.
Union can't knock the puck in towards the net on the face-off, and then it'll get sent out by RPI. Dutchman touch up, and they're very quickly back in the zone. Another one goes just to the side of the net, fed out front through the crease, nobody there, and it was Meyer causing a whole bunch of trouble here for the RPI Engineers. Meyer off to the side of the net, and Kasdorf's going to cover that one and get the whistle, as Meyer and Fu were causing a lot of consternation for the Engineers.
And there's an awful lot of skate gazing going on out there too. RPI's really got to get themselves back into this game. And some signs of life from Union, to their credit. We're getting down to crunch time, 5:36 remaining in the third period. RPI with that 1-goal lead, so we're basically back to where we were before this relative flurry of penalties took place. RPI with a power play goal, Union responding with a 4-on-4 goal. And now it's crunch time. We'll see which of these teams wants it more.
Brendan Taylor gets the puck after the faceoff. Back to the blue line shot. Misses. Kasdorf sees that go to his right. Engineers poke at the puck and get it out to the neutral zone. Back down to the Union side. Sakelaropoulos left it for his D. Engineers steal it away. Backhander is saved. Loose out to the side, out to the face-off circle, and that shot misses from RPI as it wasn't on target from Reno. Puck goes into the near corner of the Engineer zone. No icing on this. Dutchman get the puck as RPI turns it over and almost make a connection to Scarfo heading towards the net. Engineers playing some bad D right now. Puck still in their zone. Vidmar along the boards. Engineers get it out to the point and get it past the point man and into the other side of the ice, which is what they need. Nanny goes back behind the net. He gets hit. Dutchman get possession. Tyrannys couldn't keep it back there. Dutchman just barely get it across the blue line. Turning around as Tyrannys going the other way. Crowd wants a call on this as Tyrannys got hit against the boards. I think he's still down. I don't see him. Now we'll get a whistle as the puck was on the other side. And he looks hurt. We can't really see this from where we are, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a call right now.
Yeah, Tyrannys was hit really badly into the boards near the penalty benches. He is up and he's heading back to the locker room. That was a really bad hit. I'd love to see it from the other side because it was tough to see it fully because it was on the near side. But the way that the Union player came in, we're going to get it. Yeah, that's just not a good hit. I don't think they're going to make a call though because there was no hand up.
Well, you know, here's the problem. He kind of got hit by the side, and he was away from the boards when he went down.
Well, it was partially worse because he was falling down as he was getting hit. It wasn't a particularly brutal hit, but it was kind of a dangerous hit. I'd probably call a penalty there, but the refs didn't have their hand in the air. They did kind of huddle shortly afterwards, but it's hard to say either way because it was, like I said, it was kind of helped out being a bad hit because Tyrannys was on his way down.
And it wasn't exactly from behind, it was from the side, and I think that's what also contributed to it. I don't think if he was hit straight from behind, I think it would have been a penalty. Okay, we're back to play here. A little over 4 minutes to go here in the third. 3-2 RPI on top, as there was no penalty out of that. We are playing five-a-side. Dutchman in the neutral zone. Campbell backhands the puck in, as Union is still switching up people. RPI with the puck. Neutral zone, they'll sky one. Gloved down by the Dutchman, and Zingrai lost his stick trying to get it back as the Dutchmen send the puck into the RPI zone. Kind of sloppy right now here in the third period as the Dutchmen have touch up. And that pass is broken up by the Engineers. Dutchman can't make a clean pass. Now they get it to Fu. Fu dishes it off to his left, but Meyer was out of position and the puck's out of the zone. It really is kind of a sloppy third period. Not a lot of clean, crisp passing here in Troy. Puck behind the Union net as RPI tries it the other way. Top of the face-off circle shot, hits a stick out front. Another shot hits another stick. Puck goes to Gillespie on the far side. Now back to Reno, who took one of those two shots. His shot is saved. And it's sent down ice by the Dutchman. And this will be icing against Union with exactly 3 to go in the third period. 3-2 RPI on top.
Tyrannys went off favoring his shoulder, which I'm not sure if that's the one that he hurt last year because Seven Tyrannys missed nearly the entire season last year in the BCHL with a shoulder injury. And if it is the same shoulder, that doesn't bode well as he's been really a top forward for the Engineers here early in the season. So hopefully he's able to bounce back from this okay, but I don't think it's likely we'll see him again tonight with 3 minutes left.
Face off to the right of Sakelaropoulos and won by the Dutchman, sent out of the zone. 2:50 to go here, third period. Engineers on top, 3-2. Can't move the puck across the blue line. Now sent in by Wood. Behind the net, Jeff Taylor to the other side. Face-off circle, Engineers can't get a stick on it, and the Dutchmen have it. Taylor, Brendan Taylor crosses the blue line as the Dutchmen trail by 1. They need a goal, clearly, as we're winding down in the third period. 2.5 to go. Face-off circle, the Dutchmen have it. Can't get a shot off. As it was on the wrong side of the stick for Hines, he tried to feed it back, but he had no passing lane to get it back to anybody at the blue line. Union, DeSimone from his side of the ice, sends it down ice. Icing is waved off. Union's going to switch up personnel, which is what the dump-in was designed for, and RPI has it. 2:05 to go here in the third period. RPI backhands it into the zone. Union gets it out of the zone. RPI cross-ice pass off the boards, driven in by Reno. Past the goaltender. Near side, Dutchman get it out. Front of the RPI bench. Engineers at the blue line lose it. DeSimone cross-ice pass. Reno stops it inside his blue line. His backhander doesn't really go to anybody. Henry, who just came off the bench, goes back and takes the puck. DeSimone, near side, blue line, 1:35 to go in the third period. Engineers get it out across the blue line. $20, anybody can make a really good pass in this third period. Off the boards, Dutchman, cross, shot, save, Kasdorf, puts it down on the ice for Wilson. 1:20 to go in the period. 3-2, Engineers lead. RPI, wrong side of the red line, but icing's waved off as Schrader got down low first. To the near side, Bourbonnais has the puck go off in, back out to the blue line. Bradley shot, save, puck comes over to the near side. Bourbonnais off the glass, oddly, back to the point man on the far side. 1 minute to go here in the third period. Union keeps the puck away from Schrader. When will the goalie come off? He's looking over to the bench. Union, they're going to take the goalie off now. Cross ice pass, Fu has it, backhander goes off the bottom of the net. 6 skaters out there for the Dutchman. Back to the blue line. Dutchman take a shot, deflection, and Kasdorf can't handle it. Puck goes behind the net. Loose in the slot. Dutchman feed it back to the blue line. Another shot, deflection, misses the net. Puck comes around to the near ice side. Emirado, Emirado tries to send it towards the net. It deflects and goes over to the far side. Emirado can't keep it in. RPI sends it down ice, but that'll be icing against the Engineers with 21.8 seconds left.
Well, some close times there for the Engineers. They've got to dig deep and play some good defense here. 21.8 seconds left in this one. Don't be surprised if the Engineers call timeout just to make sure that their guys have a little bit of a breather. That's exactly what's going to happen here. It's catch-22 because it gives Union the opportunity to set something up. This is the time when you want to set play. Big face-off coming up here. RPI can all but ice it if they win this face-off and manage to get it out of the zone cleanly. But for the Engineers, they do need this timeout because their guys were out there for pretty much that entire sequence with Sakelaropoulos out of the net. So
normally I'm against taking a timeout late in the game when you're ahead, but because it's an icing, this time I can understand.
So we'll see now what kind of gumption the Engineers have on defense. Last night they were playing good defense even late when they were well up. Now's the time when they need it the most. It's a one-goal game. They can get out of here with a victory if they can keep that puck out of the net for 21.8 seconds. It's got to be a team effort. It was a team effort last night. It's not that long of a time. This face-off is crucial, and if they don't win the face-off, they've got to find a way to snag the puck.
Face-off will be to the right of Kasdorf. Sakelaropoulos is off the ice. There are 6 skaters out there for Union. Again, face-off to the right. Dutchman win it back to the blue line. Defender on the far side, top of the face-off circle, down low, looking to feed it out front, loose, high, goes through the crease near side, 15 seconds to go in the period. Dutchman feed it back to the blue line. Jeff Taylor takes a shot, looks, misses, looking for a deflection, 8 seconds to go. Taylor has it, takes another shot, loose, just in front, hits somebody from the defense. RPI sends it down ice, and that will do it. Side of the ice. The officials are trying to wave everybody back.
That's been known to happen.
As Wilkins getting into it with one of the Engineers. I think it was Wood.
Yeah, this game shouldn't have this though. I mean, there can be frustration if you're Union, but if there's frustration on their part, they really have nobody to look at but themselves. I mean, 40 minutes of this game, they just were not here. You can't show up for one period and win hockey games. That's the long and the short of it, you know? And that's what happened here. I mean, it was close at the end. Yeah, it's a rivalry. You want to do well, but I mean, that's just completely uncalled for. I don't know. I get that it's RPI Union and we're used to it. We've seen a lot worse recently, but at some point you got to take your licks and move on. RPI did what they had to do late, even though the third period was really very uninspiring from an RPI perspective. They did get the one power play goal, but
the third period is uninspiring both ways.
It was, but Union did what they had to do to still be in it at the end, and they were in it at the end. That's they had the jump at the end that they were lacking for most of the game. But if you can't get it done after that, and you're gonna show up and do something like that, that's embarrassing. You got to have some pride out there, and you don't do it by pushing people around at the end of the game. That's poor on Matt Wilkins' part. I'm sorry.
Kevin Curtis got a few words from RPI head coach Seth Atkins after the game ended. It looked relatively calm, the discussion. It might be going back to the Melanson penalty.
There's that. There's the Tierney's call that wasn't the hit that was not called. There's probably, I know it was different officials from last night, but I'm certain that Seth Atkins could not have been pleased with the lopsided balance of the penalty calling last night. RPI is to blame for selling that because in many third periods this season, they've taken penalties at the worst times, let teams back into games. It sort of happened tonight, although, who knows? It definitely happened on the first Union goal. That was scored on the power play.
Well,
so
I only disagree with the Melanson call. The other calls...
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's on RPI. They've got to cut down on penalties in general. Every team wants to cut down on penalties, but third period penalties are usually of the worst variety. It had the possibility of hurting them last night, even though they had a 4-0 lead for most of the period. It hurt them in Alaska. It hurt them against Lowell early this season. Third period penalties. Keep yourself out of the box late in the game, and you won't get into that position like they got themselves into tonight. Fortunately, they were bailed out by the fact that Union really only showed up for the last 5 minutes of this game, and they get to come out here with 4 points on the weekend. So, good start to the ECAC schedule for the Engineers. They had a similar start last year, didn't pan out for them. So, the question always is, and I said this at the end of last week, where do they go from here?
That is a good question. And for a number of years, if you follow RPI, that has been the question people have asked. They have a good weekend, things look up, and then boom, the next weekend, things aren't there. Last year, they started out 3-1 in the league?
They did start off 2-0. I don't remember what they did the
I think they split the following weekend.
But they put themselves in a good position. I mean, no one else is playing this weekend, so they're in first place. Now, everybody has games in hand, but they start from a position of strength. They won the games they played in hand. Now where do they go from here? They go to the North Country. Clarkson and St. Lawrence, they've started the season off well. North Country's never an easy trip, but it's early this year. You're going to have to fight your way through a snowstorm, probably. You never know. It is early November. Anything can happen in the North Country. But where they go from here can determine how the rest of their season goes. They've laid the foundation. Now we see if they can build upon it.
And that's going to happen down the road. Union's got the same questions they probably had the same time last year. Where are they going with their team? I mean, we talk about they had a bad night. They're 2-3-3 overall. I mean,
Union looked worse this weekend than they did this same time last year. That's a big difference.
Because the Saturday last year, they played very well in the one goal. I think it was a one goal.
It was the overtime loss for Union last year.
They played very well in the loss on Saturday night. They played horrible on Friday night. They didn't play very well tonight. Union
is a team that needs to decide what they want to be. They have the capacity to be maybe not the best, but very good. And we just haven't seen that yet. So
no, we certainly did not see that this weekend. That certainly didn't happen. So for RPI, it's the North Country next weekend.
We'll see what happens. St. Lawrence coming out strong. Kyle Hayton looking strong again in net. Clarkson, they've had a relatively easy early schedule, but they've won those games. And there's a train of thought. I mentioned it last week after we finished losing to Michigan after playing a couple of other, some of the best teams in the nation, Boston College, UMass Lowell. Sometimes you get out there against the very best teams, and you lose a couple of games, and you get down on yourself. Sometimes it turns you into a better team because you're playing against good teams. But sometimes you get down on yourself because you're not winning games. Then there's the opposite. You play a bunch of easier teams. Clarkson has done that for a number of years now. They've started off their season with not quite tomato cans, but teams that they should be, and they've been beating them. But the question is, does that have them ready to play a team that just swept Union and beat Boston College? Who knows? We'll find out. That's why they play the games. That's why they play the games.
That is why they play the games. That's why they call it that. Okay, time to run down the scoring in today's game. No scoring in the first period here today. In the second period, it was Jared Wilson picking up the first goal of the game, even strength from Jake Wood at 3:29 of the second. And then Phil Hampton followed that one up with a goal from Mears Moore at 7:01 to make it 2-0 RPI. Both of those were even strength. That was the score after 2. In the third, Union picked one up, 4:03 in. Jingra scoring from Pontarelli and Wilkins. Again at 4:03 in on the power play, made it 2-1 RPI at that point. RPI would score on the power play. Miller from Bourbonnais and Tyrannies at 10:31 of the third to make it 3-1 RPI. Union would come back at the 12:46 mark, even strength. They're calling this a Scarfo unassisted?
No.
No.
Can't be.
Let me refresh that.
I'm officially going to say
A big no on that?
From Henry and Campbell, and we're going to leave it at that. I don't. That wasn't an unassisted goal. Can't be.
Right now, that's all it says. We can duke that out later.
I'm overruling.
You can go down and have a tussle with whoever's in charge of that. But right now, they're just listing Scarfo unassisted, even strength at 12:46 of the third, make it 3-2. There'd be no more scoring after that, and it was a final here. RPI defeated Union by a score of 3-2. RPI outshot Union 39-29, so that means Jason Kasdorf in net for RPI made 27 saves on 29 shots. He picks up the win. In net for Union, Alex Tekellaropoulos takes the loss, 36 saves on 39 shots. He played 58-46, empty net for the last minute 14 of today's game. Power plays, both teams 1-4-3 on the power play, so the penalties evened up in today's game as opposed to yesterday when it was 9-4 in terms of power plays in Union's favor. RPI improves to 3-4 on the season. They are 2-0 in the ECAC in first place. Union falls to 2-3-2. Or pardon me, 2-3-3 on the season. They are 0-2 in the ECAC, and both of these teams are up to play in the North Country next weekend on their first road weekend of the ECAC season. So, Engineers of the game.
This one's a tough one because it was kind of a team effort for the Engineers. Whether they're playing well or playing poorly, it was kind of a team effort. I'm going to single out Mark Miller on offense, though. He did get a goal today. He used his speed well. He's clearly healed from whatever injury kept him out of the lineup to start the season off. So that's definitely looking good when you've got one of your senior players playing well. He was getting opportunities. His goal was not the only scoring opportunity that he had in this game. You just got to tip your hat to your seniors when they're playing well, and Mark Miller had a good game tonight. He had 4 shots, and one of them got through. So congratulations to Mark Miller, offensive engineer of the game. Defensively, this might be a little bit of a cop-out because it was difficult sometimes to tell which defender was making a good defensive play. So if I give it to Jason Kasdorf, who I could identify, it won't feel so bad. I won't feel like I'm making the wrong choice. Sometimes you have to lean on your goaltender to get you through a game like this, and he wasn't sharp the whole game. I thought the third period he was sometimes a little bit soft. The goal that he gave up, the second goal he gave up, the rebound was kind of rough, but that's also a rebound that Bradley probably should have been able to snatch and get rid of. But he did make 27 saves when all was said and done, and he made 8 saves in the third period when it really mattered. And we've been saying this all year long, and really we've been saying it for most of its RPI career. The Engineers can frequently live and die by Jason Kasdorf and how well he plays. He probably had a little bit better overall night last night, but he wasn't as tested last night as he was at times tonight. So I'll just go ahead and say Jason Kasdorf for Defensive Player of the Game, and hopefully that explanation was legitimate. Okay.
Was this one of the worst games you've ever seen in hockey in terms of passing?
Oh.
Okay. I could just see on the look on your face. There seemed to be a lot of awful passes.
And that was really the genesis of why long stretches of the third period were just completely emotionless. You've got a 1-goal game in RPI Union, which is the hottest rivalry in the ECAC and one of the hottest rivalries in the country when it comes to just bad blood. And the place was like a tomb. And it wasn't because the fans weren't into it. Well, I mean, the fans are into the game. They weren't into what was going on, but nothing was going on. Bad pass, bad pass, bad pass. At a time when you'd expect both teams to be cranking it up, Union had just scored. They were back within one. The gauntlet had been laid down before the Engineers. Until the penalties started coming down, nothing was happening. And then until the very end of the game, when Union had their goaltender pulled, nothing was happening there either. So I don't know if that bodes well for either of these teams going forward.
I don't know either. Also, those uniforms, I am glad they wear these one time.
There have been some legible Black Friday jerseys, Black Saturday this year, I suppose, but these were not one of them. And the lack of nameplates only...
The lack of nameplates and the inability to read the number on the shoulder.
Yeah.
These uniforms were absolutely brutal if you're here trying to figure out
these
who
numbers
has
are
the
more
puck
on the elbow, actually. Was the problem.
I am glad these uniforms are never coming back again. I am glad. Okay.
From a purely artistic standpoint, I can look at these jerseys and say, yeah, those are kind of neat. They've got the surveyor on the front, the old time RPI logo. They're kind of cool looking, but when you're trying to call a hockey game, they're difficult to tell. There's not enough contrast in the numbers for sure.
I cannot help but have a jaded opinion of these uniforms.
Understood. Understood. Well, before we leave, there's a couple of things we want to mention. The next broadcast for WRPI Sports is going to be, well, it must be next Friday. I'm certain of that. The Engineers will be up in the North Country taking on the Clarkson Golden Knights on Friday night. That game has a 7 o'clock puck drop from Cheel Arena on the campus of Clarkson University. So our on-air time should be about 6:45. We'd also like to make sure to thank Dan Wakefield back at the station for getting us on the air and keeping us on the air tonight. We're a little bit easier broadcasting from home than on the road, but our friends back at the station keep us on the air pretty well, and we thank them for that. We also would like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI, and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as WRPI is broadcasting. We provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. WRPI Sports is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of RPI athletic events such as this one. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's hockey. For more information or to express interest, contact us at WRPI-sports@rpi.edu. So for Kurt Stutt, my name is Tom Reel. You have been listening to Engineers Hockey. Your final score from Houston Fieldhouse is RPI 3 and Union 2 as RPI sweeps the Route 7 rivalry for the second consecutive year. You have been listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.